You still alive, Rebecca?
Is it the 40th?
48th.
Wow.
Yep, we're approaching 50 quite rapidly. And before we started the stream, we were talking about the Nintendo Switch and their little Nintendo Direct, what was it, conference? Video conference?
Yeah, Nintendo Direct.
I didn't watch it. I was watching my Twitter stream and they kept spamming games that are releasing. What did they talk about? They talked about ARMS. They talked about, good lord, all kinds of crap coming out on the Switch, which is good because new console needs games. But I can't say I found a single thing they talked about interesting or compelling. So, what did we have here? The things, right? Monster Hunter Stories comes west. Let's get this up and running. Jared told me about this one, and I was like, Monster Hunter coming west. And then I looked at it, and I was like, oh wow, that looks like shit. Like, I saw the little kid character. I just brought up the story right here. Little kid character with some cat thing looking over his shoulder. Why is Monster Hunter so infatuated with cats?
No idea.
You remember Monster Hunter, what was it we played? 3? I think it was. Freaking cats all over. And I bought Monster Hunter, I can't even remember which one it was called. It's basically a clone of 3. I mean, the graphics are all the same, it's just slightly different settings, so...
That's pretty much all Monster Hunters.
Yeah, Capcom, and it's copy-paste gameplay, so...
This is the first monster. This is like the first Monster Hunter that doesn't look like all the other ones.
I know. It looks worse than all the other ones, damn it. I don't know. I hate kid characters, and I hate chibi, so...
Well, it might be the first one to actually play.
Oh, wow. See, I want them to come out with a traditional Monster Hunter on the PS4. That's never going to happen at this point. You just got to accept it.
Nah, they're not going to do that because they're too lazy to update the engine and graphics and all that shit.
I mean, on the last gen in Nintendo, they would release it on the 3DS and then they'd have it on the Wii, or Wii U, where it looked a little better. I'm not asking for much. It doesn't need to look good. Just let it be on the PS4. It'll be a great online party-based game. I don't know. But Monster Hunter Stories is definitely not what I'm looking for. It is a 3DS game, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what we had this last week in gaming, is a whole bunch of games being announced. And I'm not going to go through all the Nintendo Switch stuff.
Or localizations.
Right.
Well, here goes my highlights of the Nintendo Direct.
Go for it.
Which is pretty much all 3DS games. Monster Hunter Stories. Ever Oasis, a game called Ever Oasis, which looks like, I think it's an action RPG. It reminds me of something like, well, you never played it, but a game called Fantasy Life, in a way.
Oh, yeah, those characters have way too much eye to head to body ratio for me. Just looking at it.
I told you about Yokai Watch 2, how it had 2 different versions. You know, like the Pokemon games.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they released a 3rd version in Japan called Shinichi, and they're bringing that version over here. They translated it, localized it as Psychic Specters.
So, what are the differences between these versions?
Well, it's kind of like Pokemon, same story, pretty much, but
so just
different.
Okay, just different
exclusive monsters.
Different yokai.
Yeah, I think this version added new ones to the game, and RPG Maker Fez.
Ugh.
But it's a 3DS version of the RPG Maker, but it could be interesting.
Fez, good God. I can't even think about that game without rolling my eyes. What's his name? That Phil Fish?
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
He's a mess.
Yeah.
Then despite the use of, the memes, there's a RPG called Metopia.
Oh boy.
I've heard it was fun.
So you were complaining about amiibos earlier. What exactly did they do with those? Just a bunch of new ones?
What was it? Fuck. From the looks of things, from what they were explaining for Splatoon 2 for the Switch, like, you can't save your settings and stuff like that unless you have an amiibo or something.
Why? That's just like an extra. What do those things run for? $15?
Something like that.
That's an extra $15 tax to save your settings. That's real shitty.
That's super shitty.
Now, I can't make fun of amiibos in general. They're garbage, right? They're useless toy garbage that makes Nintendo a lot of money. As much as I don't like them, they're good business.
Well, I'm not saying they're not good business. They're just shitty. It's like releasing. It's like It's like releasing a game and then saying, "Oh, here goes a $10, $15 DLC that unlocks one dungeon
or one character." Or yeah.
But it's not digital, meaning that you can get it all the time. It's physical, and some of those amiibos sell out fucking quick.
Yeah, limited quantity and.
That should be Nintendo's motto now.
It should be. It's really.
And they announced like 3 Kirby games for the 3DS.
Oh, good lord. We need more Kirby, I guess. Yeah, I'm not going to shit on Kirby. It's not my thing, but it's not a bad thing, so. Whatever. See, I can't really complain about Amiibo. Actually, yes, I can, because it's kind of like two things I hate. Shitty DLC practices, and then just kind of exploitive consumer junk mixed together. It's the worst of both of them, really. But I don't know. I'm not sure how much room I have to talk because Rebecca and I just did spend $300 on Amonkhet, the next Magic set, so...
Well, that's because we're bad people.
We're bad people, yes, we are. But...
I mean, I can't really talk either sometimes I buy, but I don't usually pay a lot of money for, like, Skylander figures and stuff like that.
No. If
And
Amiibos...
those are usually on sale on Black Friday.
True. That is true. I mean, if Amiibos were just, like, standalone collectibles, I wouldn't even have anything remotely bad to say about them.
Yeah, about locking content behind them.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
If they were just collectibles, fine. But, yeah, the fact that they're pretty much also bundled up with the worst aspects of DLC... No, that's extra shitty.
I mean, see, on one hand, Nintendo does do some DLC right, but on the other hand, they have Amiibos. Fuck Amiibos.
No kidding, right? Alright, was there anything else at this?
There was
Nintendo
one game I was hoping that they would announce a release date for in the West, but they didn't. It was a game called Lady Layton. It's a... You ever heard of Professor Layton?
No.
It's a puzzle game for the 3D, DS
Yes,
and 3DS.
I played it.
Oh, okay. Rebecca has the knowledge this time.
At least someone has good taste in games.
Ooh.
I didn't get very far. And I was having fun with it, though.
Yeah, it's pretty much all puzzle game. All puzzles.
Yeah.
What was that game I was talking to... I mentioned... It was some Some form of Tetris, because Tetris needed another version, right?
Tetris.
Puyo Puyo?
Yeah, there you go. Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Oh yeah, I saw the ad for that.
Really? Where were they playing ads for this?
It was something you were fucking around with.
Really?
They were just talking about it, I think, during the direct.
Wow. Yeah, but she wasn't here watching that.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's why I remember it, because they were saying there was a demo available for it.
It doesn't look that bad. I mean, the fuck, it's Tetris. And the only spin-off of Tetris that I remember really liking was Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Remember that shit from way back in the past?
Yeah.
That shit got hard. Those fucking robots weren't fucking around. I was like, I'm 8 years old. Have fucking mercy.
No, they were like, fuck you.
Yeah, they were. They had zero mercies.
Did you ever...
What about our fucking childhood gaming experience involved any kind of mercy?
None. That's why I'm glad it's over.
Did you have an SNES?
No, I was a Sega kid.
Okay. There was a Tetris game on it, SNES, that was really good, called Tetris Attack.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything on the SNES was pretty much better than on the Genesis. As much as it pains me to admit it. It had, well, the Sonic games, obviously, but Jesus Christ, this is turning into a retro gaming old guy rant. Fuck, they announced a Sonic game for the Switch, but it's coming out on another system, too?
Yeah, it's coming out on other systems. I
Okay.
think they're done with that whole Nintendo exclusivity.
Yeah, I think they realize that all of their fans haven't necessarily moved to Nintendo. There's just as many old Genesis players that are now on PlayStation.
Sonic Mania is like the old Sonic games. And then there's Sonic Forces, which looks like a Sonic Generations 2.
Yeah. I don't know, just something about Sonic, man. It never translated well into 3D. There are a lot of games that had growing pains moving into 3D, like Castlevania, but for some reason, Castlevania more or less got away in a lot of respects with staying 2D, because they had Symphony of the Night, and then after every time they failed at a 3D game, they could just make another portable Symphony of the Night clone.
How I wish for a 2D Castlevania.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be, like, people talk about, oh, well, you can't make a 2D AAA in this day and age. Okay, so fucking don't make it AAA.
Yeah, I never played it, but they made that multiplayer 2D Castlevania for the PS3, like, generation.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some really fun, nice-looking 2D games, like Trine. I thought had really good graphics for a 2D game. So I don't get the stigma against making a really good 2D game.
I think Salt and Sanctuary looks good.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously you could do a lot better with the gray. You could make them a lot prettier and keep it 2D and be more dynamic with the environment and the other elements, but...
Well, I mean, Salt and Sanctuary was made by 2 people.
Yeah. So, I'm not ragging on it. Salt and Sanctuary was fantastic for what it was, but... So it's not a AAA game. Okay, so have a smaller team, spend less money on it, and only sell it for $30. Everyone will be happy. You'll probably still turn... Isn't the point of making video games turning a profit? You're not telling me that you can't make a 2D game that turns a profit. I don't know. I think a lot of people are overly concerned with getting that AAA that sells 10 million, and a lot of fuckers are killing franchises and studios by going after that golden goose.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna call the Nintendo Switch the Nintendo port right now.
I mean, I have
Minecraft.
I have no problem with ports, but yeah.
Well, Minecraft.
Yeah, screen that ever existed.
Yes.
Or off the wall. Here goes a game off the wall. Payday 2.
Oh, Payday 2 is coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay, can't call that one an indie.
I think in your favorite game, Nathan, what was it? Shinobi Rifle Senran Kagura.
Yeah, I have no idea what kind of game that is. I mean, I looked at the trailer and I just saw them playing with like Flan and.
Well, from the still picture they showed, it might be a visual novel or something.
Oh god, that's what we need. Okay.
And then Monopoly. Monopoly.
We need Monopoly. Senran Kagura is a franchise that is entirely about tits. Not tits that exist in the real world. Giant anime tits that do not follow the laws of physics.
High school girls.
Yeah. Are they high school girls?
I think so.
It's Japanese.
Well, everything, yeah, everything's high
That's a
school.
fucking stupid question.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
yeah,
when
that
you
was
when you had the creator's motto of tits is life, tits are life, ass is hometown. What do you expect?
I don't expect anything. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. Tits are great. Everyone loves
at least,
tits.
Yeah. At least he's staying true to his ideal.
I just, my only complaint with Senran Kagura is gameplay. Give me better gameplay while you're trying to sell me tits. Because if you're just trying to sell me tits in a video game, I can do better for free online. That's all I'm saying.
That's the thing. They have a good model for hack and slash.
So
just fucking ask Omega Force.
why is that not? Well, I've heard of them, but that's not ringing a bell.
That's the Dynasty Warriors developers.
Okay. I mean, even I'd say that. Really, I always just think of Koei
games for some reason.
Yeah, I mean they're fun. I can only play so many
of them. There's too many of them, but they're fun. There's something in those games that draw you in. But even I found Senran Kagura shallow and boring.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I have zero problems with the video game trying to sell me tits, but you got to remember you're a video game, and I can get tits elsewhere. So now mixing tits and gameplay, fine, fantastic, whatever. I'm theoretically speaking, game.
For me, someone who plays fucking clicker heroes.
That's true. I'm not sure you have a leg to stand on in hindsight. Remember, Rebecca, when we played... Well, we got on a Dynasty Warriors kick for a while there. We played
we
three...
played Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors...
Yeah. We just Dynasty Warriors ourselves
Orochi.
out. Yeah, we played the fuck out of some Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. Dynasty Warriors 4 and 5 is what we spent the most time on. We played the shit out of it, but after a while, it's just like, okay, I don't think I need to spend another $60 on this, because I'm pretty sure
Something else, please.
It's been long enough, we could probably buy one.
More, though.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But
I mean, I don't know if you like One Piece or whatever, but the One Piece Warrior games are pretty good.
I'm okay with One Piece. There needs to be a lot of characters. And I'm not sure about... I like the RPG elements in those games, as thin as they are. The whole point isn't really just having dynamic gameplay. I like going around and learning the levels, killing the boss enemies, and getting the stat boost pickup. I think the last Musu game I played... Is it fair to call Dragon Quest Heroes a Musu game?
Yeah, I'd call it a Musu game.
Okay, that's the last one I played.
I mean, it was made by the same developers.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same game, but they did that one really right. So that kind of calmed my itch for it. Rebecca hasn't played it, so she probably is still interested in it. Are there any Dynasty Warriors games on the PS4? I'm sure there has to be by now.
There's Dynasty Warriors 8 XL.
Okay, see, that's what they need. They need a nice Dynasty Warriors with updated features that still got the good old Do they even have like online play?
I think so. I can't remember.
That might be something to think about. I mean, I haven't played a Dynasty Warrior games, and when did DW5 come out? Or Samurai Warriors 2 was the last one I really remember playing a lot.
Yeah, we played Samurai.
So we're talking a decade. We played on the Xbox 360, and it was one of the first games we had. So yeah, we're talking about 10 years. So I don't know how they changed the characters or the formula, what they've added, But if they have if they still have local co-op and multiplayer, I'm potentially interested.
If you do get a Dynasty Warriors type game on the PS4, there's Warriors Orochi 3.
Is that a good one?
It has something like 130 characters.
Oh wow. Does that have like online multiplayer or?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'll have to look it up at Co-Optimus. Hold on, Co-Optimus, save me from myself. Warriors, there you go. Okay. The problem with those Koei Tecmo games, they never fucking go down in price the way they should. Local co-op not supported. You're an asshole.
Yeah, that's lame.
No buys. You get 0 buys for that.
Yeah, it
Sometimes I lament the death of co-op multiplayer. Oh, there we go. Dynasty Warriors. Oh, that's Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. Get the hell out of here. I'm not playing an Empires expansion. There we go. Extreme Legends. That's what you were talking about? Or no, you're talking... Yeah. Yeah, Extreme Legends. XL.
Extreme Legends Complete Edition.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 8 plus Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends content together in one game. Yes. Local co-op, 2 players. Online co-op, 2 players. Co-op campaign, split screen. It does not have mix and match, obviously, because only 2 players. Okay. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that if we ever get really jonesing for it, Rebecca.
Yeah.
So, alright, let's move on. I can't remember if I talked about this on the last podcast. I don't think I did. I just talked about it not endlessly, but sufficiently afterwards. Given the date of the news, I think it just missed the last podcast, but the Xbox Scorpio specs were revealed.
I think it was right after.
I think it was right after the last one, so it's kind of old news now, but that's the weekly.
I think we talked about it on when we were talking online the other night or whatever.
Yeah, so let's just run this down really quick to get this out of the way so we can officially comment on it in the podcast. The Project Scorpio has 8 custom 86 cores clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. That is at best, marginal upgrade over the Pro, which is running the same architecture at 2.1 gigahertz. It has 40 customized compute units running at 1172 megahertz compared to the PS4 Pro's 36 compute units at 911 megahertz. It's a fair bit of difference. Compared to the Xbox One, it had 12 compute units running at 853 megahertz, which is a huge fucking difference. What really changes the game, though, is that...
Well, the Xbox One was weaker than the PS4.
Yes, it was PS4. A good bit. What was it, 1.2 teraflops to the PS4's 1.7, 1.8, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a fairly big difference. But the Scorpio is much, much stronger, just in the GPU department. Another really big difference, and this is probably the most significant difference between the Scorpio and the Pro. The Scorpio is running 12 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, with a memory bandwidth at 326 gigabytes per second, compared to the Pro's 8 gigabytes of DDR5, running at 218 gigabytes per second. So not only do they have 50% more of it, but it has 50% higher bandwidth, which is probably going to help the Xbox Scorpio in a lot of its multitasking features, which I love my PlayStation 4, but you got to admit the Xbox One has taken that approach and run with it far more than Sony has. Sometimes I wish I could. I think the Xbox has the ability to partition its game screen, so you can have like something going on half of the screen and then something else on the other half. And as you know, given our profession, the first thing I thought of is how nice would it be if people could like pull up a guide on one half of their screen while playing a game on the Xbox One with the other half. I mean, for my setup, and if I was a gamer, a gamer that used guides, I would never do that because I have a computer screen right in front of me all the time anyway, so why would I, cut my game screen in half? But still,
Or a phone or something.
Or a phone, yes. But still, it's a nice feature, especially if you could, like, minimize it and, pop it up to half every time you needed to look at something. So, it seems like it will help a lot with that, and of course, just having more memory in general is going to be a big deal. It also has a 4K UHD Blu-ray optical drive and a 1 terabyte 2.5-inch hard drive. Terabyte? I think it became Irish there for a moment. Terabyte? Which, come on, guys. It's 2017. There's no reason the Pro and the Scorpio should have anything less than 2 terabytes. At a minimum. I mean, you can buy 2.5-inch externals that have fucking 4 terabytes of storage for, $110 was that link I sent you, Jared?
Mm-hmm.
So, come on. Especially if you're running games, it's supposed to 4K fucking 60 frames per second.
You can get a 2 terabyte external for like $70-$80.
Yeah, so I hate that they're essentially cutting corners on the hard drive and expecting you to expand it on your own. Even though it is relatively cheap, it's like having a premium game console and then just getting a shitty fucking, I don't know, like the fucking laptop I bought has a 500 gigabyte SSD, which is far more compelling storage than the fucking consoles have. I don't know.
Well, they gave the dev kit for the Scorpio the 1 terabyte regular hard drive, then a 1 terabyte SSD too.
Wow. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? I mean, I'm kind of surprised that the Scorpio, considering it's supposed to be a premium game console, is, not rocking any SSD.
Well, SSDs are not that cheap.
No, they're not that cheap, but they aren't that expensive anymore. I mean, for what the Scorpio is, I didn't think it was outside the realm of possibility that they could slap in like a 128 gigabyte SSD or something like that just for the operating system. So that would just boot super fast and do most of its core functions very quickly. Because I think that would have helped with the premium image of the console quite a bit. And those aren't really even that expensive. I'm going to go back up my wild assertions with...
What, for SSD?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking on Best Buy right now. It says like almost a 1 terabyte is about $270.
Yeah, but for something like a 128, which is more than plenty for what you would need for like the operating system and other related features, we're talking $50 for a 128 gigabyte.
Yeah, they have a 240 for $80.
Yeah, so I mean, it would bump up the cost, but it just really depends what Microsoft means by a premium game console. Like they're talking about, this is for serious gamers. If it comes out with a $500 price tag, fine. But if it's like $600-$700, I'm like, no, you needed to throw more shit in there to really kind of sell this.
Especially when your competition is at $400.
Yeah, and possibly even lower by the time the thing comes out. Because if I was Sony, I'd be like, can we shave this shit to $350?
$350, yep, that's what I'm thinking too.
So, but the big problem with the Scorpio is not the hardware. If that console with its specs sells for $500, that's an awfully compelling machine. Especially
one problem.
Yes, go tell us the one problem.
Games.
Yeah, games, exactly. Because
You can't be selling a $500 machine. I mean, no matter, it doesn't matter. That's not a bad price, but you can't be selling it just on the name of like Halo and Forza and Gears of War alone.
No, not anymore. Especially considering that those franchises haven't exactly been compelling in the better part of a decade. I mean, like, when Gears came out and when Halo 3 came out, those were big fucking titles. Back then, you could sell a console on those names.
Well, that was back when...
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know if you like the guy or not, but when Cliff was part of the Gears team, right?
Yeah. No, I don't hate the guy. I think he's bombastic, but, you know, he's a salesman, so I have no problem with you trying to be larger than life to sell your shit. But, I mean, back in the day, I don't know about you, Jared, if you were just a committed diehard pony back then or not, but I was very irate with Sony back in the area of 2006. And $600. Oh, get another job. Fuck you.
They're
Gears of War looked fucking really good back then. It's one of the reasons I bought the Xbox 360. Halo hadn't quite worn itself out yet, so Halo 3 was another compelling thing. They had a really good ad, if you remember, Rebecca, back in those days. That diorama they did.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
With I think
I've heard about that. Yeah, that was a really good ad.
The sound, the music they played was Chopin's Rain or Raindrops. I can't remember what the hell. I know it was Chopin, but Chopin. But yeah, that was a really fucking good ad. So, you know, they back then, Gears and Halo could actually sell a console. It wasn't Gears and Halo that sold the console to me, but you also got to remember back then there were a lot of Sony exclusives, like Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy that I was looking forward to. Yes, naively back then I was like, Final Fantasy 13 might not suck balls. Little did we know. But then those all went multi-platform, and I'm like, well, fuck you, Sony. What the? I'm not going to work a second job. I'll just keep being a janitor and buy an Xbox 360. How about that, you cunts? So,
yeah, bitches.
That's exactly what I was working as, a janitor on the military base here. That's why I bought my Xbox 360. Well, I was working while putting myself through college. God, I was a go-getter back then. And look how things fell apart. What a waste of time. But yeah, the big problem with the Scorpio is they don't have any fucking games. I think about the Scorpio, and if somebody like came up with a basket with a swaddled Xbox One infant in it and gave it to me, what would I feed it? Sunset Overdrive. I'd probably buy the new Gears, you know, because Rebecca and I historically had fun playing those together. But we bought Gears 3 years ago, and we still never played it. So the initiative isn't great.
That's probably all I would buy too, Gears 4 and Sunset Overdrive.
So, I mean, maybe if Scalebound starts looking... Oh, wait, no, they canceled that one, didn't they? So, yeah, I mean, there's just not much on that fucking thing. Like I told you on Slack, they need to come out on E3, they need to come out with 4 fucking exclusives. They need to just announce them, and I don't care if they show much off, they just need to let us know they exist. One needs to be a JRPG, one needs to be a WRPG. They can have one FPS or TPS. They don't really need one, but they can have, I'm being generous, they can have one. And then they need an action-adventure, kind of like an Uncharted or Tomb Raider or something like that.
Well, they need to throw a lot of money behind a JRPG because the Xbox One is selling in the triple digits in Japan.
Oh yeah, well no, you don't make it for Japan. That market is gone. You're never going to get that market.
Yeah,
but you know, just give the Western weebs an excuse to buy your system. Because they're the only ones... Japan's not buying your shit. Ever. It doesn't matter what you have on it. They're just not buying it. So... And you can, you know, what does that mean? What's that popular GameFAQs topic? I swear it pops up every so many fucking months. If you don't buy this Japanese game, you're xenophobic. Right? How often have we had that happen?
I don't know. I don't pay attention half the time.
No, well, you're much smarter than I am, but I can't believe that's an actual topic.
I keep telling you to stop reading that garbage, but
it is kind of funny sometimes. We'll get to that because there was more epic stupidity, but
gee, I'm surprised.
Westerners will buy Japanese shit, but Japanese people will not buy Western shit for whatever reason. That's just
been some. What game was it that just released that? That was a Western game that sold pretty good in Japan. Horizon, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking if any game would sell potentially well, you think it would have to be Horizon. But, yeah, okay, let's speak of internet stupidity. They released... I assume we're done on the Xbox, unless anyone has any...
I pretty much said they just need games.
They do.
At most a $500 price point.
Yeah, $500 price point would do them a world of good.
We'll see in 2 months.
Is there any chance at all that Jared ends up buying a Pro or a Scorpio?
Likely not.
I didn't. So. That's not a big deal. I'm not gonna fault you for it because honestly, the Pro or the Scorpio would have to do months of work, months of catch up to even have the faintest chance. Not months, years. It would take them years of good exclusives to really be worth.
I'd probably buy a Switch before I buy a Scorpio.
Yeah, I have no doubts about that. I don't know. See, we make fun of their whole exclusive to Xbox One and Windows 10, but over time, that shit might accumulate, and if they stop selling the Xbox One as just like a console and push the hybrid features and essentially make it like a Steam machine, like fucking Steam should've, like Valve should've, that could actually be pretty big, because if they can keep up with premium consoles, you know, because for the specs that thing is offering, I've heard journalists say that it has performance roughly comparable at times to a 1070. And if you look at the price of a GTX 1070, they're a few $100 in and of themselves, and then you need all the other shit with the PC. Whereas the Scorpio itself isn't that much more expensive and does everything right out of the fucking box. So if they do keep pushing that whole synergy with PC and console, and they actually build up a storefront that's worth a damn on Windows 10, and just have it like a Windows 10 Steam machine, like the next generation of Xbox, which I do think there's a good chance it will be, that might be pretty compelling.
Nintendo Direct. Fuck.
Oh, go on.
Fucking
Shoring it in.
Nintendo Direct. They're making different colored Joy-Con.
Oh. Those things are way too fucking expensive. Like, whatever you think about it, that is the most nickel and dimey fucking console out there.
I looked when they announced that. I'm like, oh fuck.
How much is this shit gonna be?
Yeah. These ones are neon yellow.
Ooh, you know, if they sell chartreuse green ones, Rebecca might be vaguely interested, but it's still a Switch.
It's still a Nintendo.
Yeah.
So
So, I don't know. There is potential with the whole Xbox market strategy, but we're talking a slow build. Mm-hmm. And then again, if any company has, you know, years and millions of dollars to waste, it's Microsoft. So, who knows, you know? In 2020, you know, we might be talking a little bit different about the Xbox One successor. Maybe. I'm not optimistic. See, when people ask me what console is going to be doing the best in a few years, I just go, none of them. They're all going to fuck up in some way. The one that fucks up the least, I have zero faith in them, in any of them, and they usually prove me right.
Sony keeps up the pace they're doing that they have been doing the last few months. They'll be good.
Yeah, but to be fair, they're only where they're at because of epic botchery on Xbox's part. And that could easily be fixed by just Microsoft not pushing that DRM shit and focusing on the console PC synergy. If they do that, they're just building up their library.
Yeah, well, last gen Xbox got ahead because of the because of Sony fucking up.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's entirely possible
And
that
then
Microsoft will give them
look at the end of the generation. I mean, the PS3 came back and was outselling the Xbox 360.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When I say the Xbox 360 won last gen, and I will stick to that, it's not because it sold more units at the end. It's because it quadrupled its market share in comparison to Sony. And
they established themselves as a major player.
Yeah, so that's why I say the Xbox 360 won. And because last gen Xbox was able to get away with multiplats, a heavy focus on multiplats. Their franchises hadn't worn themselves out as much, and their multiplats ran better. Now, I don't know. Will the multiplats run better on the Scorpio than on the Pro? Quite possibly. I'd be surprised if they didn't do something like a boost mode. But are people really going to be switching consoles mid-generation because there's more frames per second on an Xbox Scorpio than on a Pro? Or because the Scorpio uses actual 4K instead of checkerboarding? I mean, the differences back then was the PS3 ran some fucking games like utter shit. And the 360 ran the same games pretty well. So.
Yeah, Bayonetta was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I remember on one of the reviews I watched of Bayonetta way back in the past, they talked about, like, one of the things they used to differentiate the two versions of the game was how long it took for you to go into the menu screen on the PS3. And, like, there's a load to go into the menu. Am I right? That was a thing? I'm remembering that right.
I think so.
That's a pretty big difference when one version of the game is barely competent. And, you know, if you like those Bethesda RPGs, which I do, they ran a lot better on the 360. Playing Fallout New Vegas on either console was a nightmare, but I was seriously in panic mode for gamer guides. I was like, I'm going to have to tell Seb and Claire that I have to start this over from the fucking beginning on PC because this PS3 version is not going to let me complete the game. But, yeah, I toughed it. It got so bad there on the PS3 that I would get about an hour of play before I'd have to shut the thing off and start it back up again. Because it would literally drop to, like, not even a frame per second. It was slideshow.
Bethesda's engine, wasn't it?
Well, who do you point the fingers at? Bethesda's engine is very memory intensive, and the PS3 had 256 megabytes of RAM that it could use for games, compared to the Xbox 360, which had... They both had a total of 510, but the 360's was partitioned in a way that it could use more of the memory, use more of the 512 for games than the PS3, where the PS3 just locked 256 for the operating system and allowed games to use 256. So, yeah, it was the engine, but it was also just the sheer lack of competence on the part of Sony to think that maybe games needed memory. So, it's basically what it was.
They don't need memory.
Yeah.
I ain't just making shit up.
But goddamn, we're talking. This is like the last gen show right now. Well, this kind of fits in, so I'll just segue this in here. Speaking of old, antiquated shit no one uses anymore, Microsoft ends all support for Windows Vista today. It's sad, but if you have Windows Vista, you're just gonna need to get a big boy operating system. Does anyone still use that shit operating? God, I hated Vista when it came out. We had computers that ran that.
I was gonna say, wasn't Vista like other shit?
It was bad. I did not like it. It wasn't Windows ME bad. Like, that was atrocious. It wasn't even usable. But Vista was subpar. Then they came out with Windows 7 and all was well. But
yeah, Windows 7 is good.
Windows 7 was pretty good. That's what you're running right now, right, Jared?
Yeah.
People gave shit to Windows 8. 8.1 wasn't bad. Windows 10 is okay. It's not bad. It's not good. They tried to get really appy with Windows 8, and PC users were like, no, I have a phone. I don't want my fucking desktop to resemble my phone. Oh. Okay, we're getting attacked some more. That's good. So, there's that little bit of news. And clumsily segueing into... Oh, I hit the wrong button. Better get out of the fire. Clumsily segueing into stupid shit that's been happening. Battlefront 2 had its trailer released, or leaked, I guess, ahead of time. And the big controversy is that, oh my god, it has a single-player campaign, and that single-player campaign has a female protagonist. And for some reason, this makes it an SJW game. This is...
Well, now you can't have a female in a game at all, pretty much, without it suddenly being an SJW game. So.
I know. This is the height of utter stupidity. And I'm sure if this keeps coming up on GameFAQs board and I keep arguing it, people are going to call me an SJW again, which I find utterly delicious.
I was going to say, didn't they already call you one?
Yeah, they did. About when I told them that Horizon was not a fucking misandrous game. Which I still stand by. It's got some shit in it, right? It's pushing parts of a narrative, but you know, calling it misandrous is
bad.
It's too far out there.
That's just the one trot.
Yeah. So I think a comparison I made on my Facebook page about this is if it stars a female protagonist, now it's an SJW game. So if you play a BioWare Bethesda game and you make a female protagonist, does it become an SJW game for you when you play it with... Is like Fallout 4 for me an SJW game, but Rebecca, who plays male character, is it not an SJW game for her? Now, of course, Jared brought up, is Mega Dimension Neptunia an SJW game? Because it's got a female protagonist.
What about Senran and Kangura?
Yeah, that's... A lot of female protagonists. Yep, those are mega SJW games. I mean, look at how they flaunt their femininity on those games. So, but something I eventually brought up was...
Or is it just ugly female protagonists?
Well, I mean, one, that's going to be subjective as all hell anyways. Yeah,
but that counts like... Well, ignoring creative character, you have to. Your base models on an Andromeda are ugly.
They're pretty ugly. I think I got my protagonist looking okay, even though Jared says she looks like Ashley Birch because he's a fucking shit-stirring asshole. But, I don't know. People are just... They're utterly fucking retarded. I'm sure it's internet trolls, but the sad thing about internet trolls when they start this shit is they get idiots to actually jump on their bandwagon. And so you can't just discard them all as trolls, because there are numerous people that probably aren't trolls that argue this like it's legitimate. So even if they were, you still got that issue. But one thing I eventually brought up is, if you made a video game that starred like Ann Coulter, Tommy Lauren, and Lauren Southern as female protagonists, would that still be an SJW game? Because if that still makes it an SJW game, then that aspersion has no meaning whatsoever. So, I don't know. Just a little bit of fun stupidity from the internet there. I wish we could just get rid of idiots on both sides of the issue, because I honestly think that wouldn't be that many gamers that you're sending to the Virgin Volcano. There's probably not that many vocal crazies out there. I think just like the 5% of the most extreme on either end of the spectrum. Just get rid of those, and everyone else would be so much better off. Wow, Claire was right. There's a lot of crap on this planet. Where's my... Oh, wow. Okay, there it is. Alright. So, Jared, this is a little bit of news that you pointed out to me. I've been following a game called Prey, which has been sliding in and off my radar for the last couple of months, going on to a year. But now it is finally fixed onto my radar now that I've bothered to do the minimal amount of work it takes to look up what kind of game it is and to find out if so. In case anyone doesn't know, it's a Bioshock-ish, I don't even know if you can call it an RPG, more of an action game that is coming out May 5th, the day after my birthday, the most glorious day of the year when we celebrate the birth of the Christ author.
And Star Wars Day is the day before.
God, I hate that. May the 4th be with you. No, that's not some fruity little Star Wars.
You were born on Star Wars Day.
I was born on Nathan Garvin Day. Star Wars Day just appropriated my shit. I know Star Wars came out before I was born, but that bogus holiday did.
Something real quick.
Go on.
I've never watched a Star Wars movie.
Never? Not a single one?
Nope.
Wow. Like, half of the Phantom Menace, and I'm like, those movies were so terrible. People will try to defend them, but they're awful. They're horrible. But yeah, about the Star Wars shit. Like, right, you brought up, does it only count if the character's ugly? I watched the trailer. I don't remember the female character being on there that long, but if she's who I'm thinking of, let me see if I can find it. She looks so fucking milquetoast that how can you even care? Let me see. Battlefront 2 protagonist. I'll do a search for that. Let me see what this is. If I remember correctly, she had like that double-edged lightsaber staff. She looks like she could be any Caucasian Latino woman. It should literally be below anybody's fucking care. It really should be. Alright. Back onto the shit we were talking about. But Prey, anyways. Prey, goddammit, is coming out with a demo on April 27th, so we will see if they get to keep my money, because right now I have it pre-ordered. To all you fuckers that complain about pre-orders, fuck off. I get 20% discount when I pre-order on Amazon, so I can cancel at any time. It's a scam. No, it's a gamble. Learn the fucking difference. Anywho, I will be playing the Prey demo on the 27th or thereabouts, and yeah, if it's good, I will keep my pre-order. They will get my $52. So, kind of a risky move on their part, but I imagine they're probably doing it because of pre-order numbers. I would assume, anyways. Maybe they plan to have a demo out no matter what, but...
Well, they just did the demo for Dishonored 2, too.
Yeah, I mean, they did that
by the same developers.
They did that after the game came out, though.
Yeah, I know.
So, and they're giving away like a quarter of the game for you to play for free, which is crazy, but I guess it makes business sense. I'm sad that game didn't sell as well as it should have, because from what I played, it was a very good game.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's Dishonored. It was Dishonored with another character and stuff like that, with some with some improvements.
Yeah, I mean, with the ability to customize your runes and shit. Seems like a pretty nice improvement to me. So, I don't know. Damn shame that Prey 2, or that Dishonored 2 didn't get the acclaim it probably really deserved. Did we ever get any final sales numbers on how that one did?
What?
Dishonored 2. I'm almost certain we didn't, but...
Well, I'm sure the Steam version being a technical mess at launch didn't help.
No, but somehow I doubt it hurt all that much either. I mean, yeah, Steam's this huge platform, but you never You never really hear of games that are like Steam only selling so well that they never have to move over. Not like XCOM 2 just did such gangbusters that we never saw it on console. So, and come on, there are a lot of games that were horrible on the PC that ended up doing, like what, Arkham Knight was basically not. Didn't they basically scrap that version of the game? They just offered full outstanding refunds to anybody. Yeah, that's a sign that she didn't go so well. Whatever. Point being, I doubt a bad PC port was going to kill a game. If it was going to kill things other than Dishonored 2.
Yeah, so VG charts, which, you know, not exactly the most reliable source, has Dishonored 2 at 2.27 million
as
of March 4th.
That's not bad. You'd think that 3 million would be kind of the upper limit of what you'd expect. At least, I thought if that game ever sold 3 million, it would have done well. I'm not privy to its development costs. You know, they always want to sell a lot more than most games are likely to sell, but oh well. Alright.
Ah, damn it.
What happened? You playing Fallout?
Fallout 4 just crashed and I had done a bunch of stuff and I hadn't had a chance to save. I was just about to.
Ah, poor woman. So much for...
See what I lost.
So much for Fallout 4 being more stable, right? Yakuza Kiwami launches August 29th in the Americas and Europe. Jared, tell us about this.
So, Yakuza Kiwami is a remake of the first Yakuza game, which released on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, it's pretty old.
It's a remake, not a remaster?
No, I think it's a remake. Let's see. This comes off the heels of them releasing Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to the first game, back in January, which I sadly have not had the chance to play more of.
I know, right? Jeez, fuck, all the games that we don't have time to play. I told Claire earlier that one day there will be a magical time when I don't have any outstanding projects and I just get to play all my backlog. And I thought about it, I was like, no, that wouldn't be that magical a time, because that would basically mean I'm unemployed.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was like, never mind, that doesn't sound so magical, that sounds kind of shitty.
Yeah, even if we can't play all the games we want to, getting monthly checks
to play games and write, yeah. That's not lose sight of what's important. Jared, what's important in life? There's a Conan parallel there, but I'm not going to force you to think of it because I can't think of a great one.
I don't think that really applies to you guys.
So you're the resident Yakuza expert, which isn't saying much. It just means the rest of us know absolutely nothing about the game. I want to call it Japanese Grand Theft Auto, just based on what I know.
Oh, God.
I wouldn't really call it that.
I lost everything I did.
There's no...
Yakuza games are more, I mean, they have some kind of, sort of, open worldish thing. I mean, one of the draws to the, like, last few Yakuza games have been that there's a ton of shit to do. Like, you have, in Yakuza 0 that I've played so far, you have Mahjong. You can go to the batting cage. You can do a dancing minigame.
You go to strip clubs?
Don't think so, but you can run a cabaret club.
I saw some really weird shit about that game. Like, there was some mini game where some girls were like fighting, or it's been a while. I have to go look it up.
Something like that.
Okay, that's what I was talking about.
There's a lot of side content to do, and I mean, this Yakuza Zero is... I think they've made 7 mainline games in that series. I mean, it's pretty big in Japan.
Yeah, sounds pretty prolific. Yakuza 0's not off my radar, but I wasn't in a rush to go buy it. It might be a Black Friday game, but it might also be too niche to really get that kind of a discount. So we'll see.
Yeah, it might not.
So
yeah, they hopefully they port over to other games to the PS4.
So
or do a remake of the second game.
Yakuza Kiwami, are there any buys for that for you?
I probably will be buying it on release day because it's only going to be $30.
Okay. Which apparently, if you take GameFAQs seriously, is a huge mistake.
Yeah. Because some people are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
People actually take game facts seriously.
I have 2 comments to say about that. One, selling a remaster at a discount doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. And 2, it's 30 fucking bucks. Ask your mommy to give you your allowance early, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, considering I'll get it for $24.
Yeah, no shit. I just spent 30 bucks on Stardew Valley Collector's Edition. Which I already own, and I really have no intention of playing. I mean, if it had a separate trophy list, I would definitely go through it again to double up on the trophies.
Yeah, you would.
I totally would. But it doesn't... I mean, I might play it again for the second playthrough for the JojaMart shit, but... yeah, it's 30 bucks. It's throwaway. I gave him that much money because 1, I wanted the collector's edition, 2, because I thought it was such a good game. It deserved more money. So, Rebecca might disagree, but... well, she didn't complain about it. In the end.
Well, it is Stardew Valley.
It is Stardew Valley. Yes, indeed it is. You played that game way more than I thought you would.
I played it about as much as I thought I would.
Really? It's hard to tell with you, because you always play shit.
Sometimes I still want to play more of it.
I don't blame you.
Goddamn Redstone.
God, I love this fucking biotic build.
Yeah,
It is awesome.
so I'll probably pre-order Yakuza Kiwami soon. Then probably pre-order fucking Shadow of War, which comes out a week before. And then another game this week got a date in August, which is Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Yep, those games are starting to pile up, aren't they?
Yep.
You know, the only game in that month that I have any intention of buying new is Shadow of War, so it's nice to see that there's variety, but it's not really going to strain my free time or pocketbook. I'm still holding out hope I'll get a write-a guide for Shadow of War.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That depends. I mean, there ain't nothing on your radar for after Mass Effect, huh?
Yeah, but there's a good chance that they'll prioritize The Witcher 3 DLC, because that guide still sells really well. And it deserves it. The Witcher 3, that DLC is fantastic. It really deserves to be in that guide. So, and it would offer more incentive for people to come back or to, buy it if they didn't already. If they owned the complete edition now, we could sell it as like a complete edition upgrade to the guide. So, there's a good chance, honestly, that the extra sales gain from the Witcher 3 DLC might be more lucrative than Shadow of War. Because for Shadow of War, it took it quite a few months to recoup what Seb paid me to write it. So it...
well, I mean, you also wrote it a long time after the game came out.
That is true. That is true.
That happened with me in Far Cry 3, I think, when I wrote the guide for them.
So, there's no guarantees I would write it if I got permission. But I also wouldn't be surprised or terribly disappointed if I didn't, so... I'll live either way. I'm honestly thinking about getting the gold edition to Shadow of War for the Steelbook and for the thrown-in story DLC. Essentially the Season Pass. Because they're playing up those story DLC like they're pretty substantial, but I'm waiting to see more of what they actually are and, I'm not opposed to upgrading.
Play the story DLCs for Shadow of Mordor to see how they are.
That's true, but I think one of them is kind of like a hunt. I still need to play that Dishonored story DLC. Because you told me that stuff was actually pretty good.
Yeah. I played 2 missions of the one DLC and it was pretty good.
Ugh, no fucking time. Alright. Like you were just talking about, Uncharted Lost Legacy launches August 22nd in North America, yep. August 23rd in Europe.
Yep, it's pretty much like a standalone DLC to Uncharted 4. It stars Chloe Fraser, who was a character in Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2, I think she was in Uncharted 3 a little bit, but I can't remember. But yeah, she wasn't really, well, spoilers. She wasn't really a character, she wasn't really present in Uncharted 4. And the character she is grouped with in Uncharted Lost Legacy is a character from Uncharted 4.
I still need to play those Uncharted games.
And considering the nature of the character in Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy is pretty much taking place after Uncharted 4 story.
So you played through Uncharted. See, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't, or they're not going to tap you to play, or to write Lost Legacy.
Well, Claire said there might be some interest, isn't it?
Yeah, because, man. I had to go look up on Slack.
Considering the Beast from the month before, I'll probably still be working on that.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to throw me on that as co-author, because I have no real desire to actually write anything for Final Fantasy XII. Like, I want to avoid writing about it. I'm fine to play through it and do the media, because I really want to grind through that game again, but it's kind of one of those things that I want to do at, like, a leisurely pace, you know? It'll be a game I play when I'm not doing something, work-wise. I said I'd help you out with the media, which, given recent developments, probably isn't something you really need, but...
Well, I'm sure Square ain't gonna fucking block sharing.
Yeah. Claire posted Naughty Dog Uncharted Lost Legacy launching August 22nd. Said, summer game if there's boredom / nothing to do. And I said, probably a Black Friday game. I think I have enough backlog. And she responded, I meant for a guide, but we'll see. Depends on workload, and it's not a massive game. 10 hours or so, I'm told. So, me?
It's
Uncharted?
Not a full price either.
That's
$40, I think.
Yeah. But Uncharted is totally a U franchise.
Well, I played all 4 of the games.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So even
I've beaten all 5 of the games that have been released.
If you can get through Final Fantasy, because see, I doubt you're gonna get. Well, when does Final Fantasy 12 come out? Isn't it like July 11th or 12th?
July 12th.
Yeah. So that would be about a month and a half, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which is tight for a game like Final Fantasy 12, but not outside the realm of possibility. So.
Well, considering we actually know how much shit is in Final Fantasy 12.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, that's the only thing I could really do writing-wise, I think, is some of the side shit, but I'm not even sure how much, aside from, like, the hunts, how much side shit is there? Because there's a lot of side content, but most of it is grinding,
most of it's hunts or the rare games.
Yeah, so it's,
Well, there's also the trial mode, which is 100 floors.
Oh, yeah. None of that stuff sounds compelling. Like, I know the part you're probably looking forward to most is writing up the hunts, because it gives you an excuse to actually go through and do that for a change. And while there's lots of dungeons to grind and lots of, extra loot you can get, most of that's shit that belongs in the walkthrough. So, oh well. We'll see how things go. Ideal circumstances, you get done with.
Also, yeah, I mean, there's also going to be a good portion of like picking the right classes for your party and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like a character creation. Yeah, I mean that's something that actually is something I could do because it's something that we would both be talking about as we played, and so it wouldn't be my ideas, but it would essentially be busy work that you wouldn't necessarily care to do. So who knows? We'll see. I mean,
We'll see. Look at a couple months.
Yeah. I want that. I want that game to come out because I want to play it. But ideal world, you get done with 12 by the time Lost Legacy comes out, and then you can knock out Lost Legacy real quick as kind of just a short little project, and I get to write all I want about Shadow of War. I think that's the optimal late summer outcome. So, well, we'll see how things pan out. Alright, speaking of other new shit, another clumsy, lazy segue that I'm just stumbling into, because fuck it. Bayonetta is now available for PC via Steam, with 4K support and 60 frames per second, and also other advanced graphics options. It only took them, well, the better part of a decade, but hey, it's out on Steam now, and it's going to look prettier than ever, so.
Yeah, it's funny to note that I don't think anybody really... I mean, before anybody really thought they were going to port it to PC because they released a countdown on April Fool's Day.
Oh, see, this is a nice swerve, honestly, but I kind of thought they were going to port it to PC, because what the hell else could it really be? I did play that little 8-bit game on Steam. They tricked me into it. They said, download it now while it's available. It'll be yours forever. And I was like, well, I can't let it get away. I have to download it. And I downloaded it, and I played it, and it must have taken one intern all of 6 hours to make. You play a little 8-bit Bayonetta, you're locked on the left side of the screen, and some enemies walk on the ground, and then they have the essential equivalent of the flying Medusa heads that go through the sky.
Fucking Medusa.
Yeah, I know. And
Everybody's favorite.
the whole purpose is you got to shoot and kill everything before they can reach you, because you're defenseless, and they one-hit kill you and give you a game over if they reach you. So very, very simple, and I was like, well, I'm glad I made sure I'd never lose access to this gym. So...
Yeah, I mean, Platinum did say that they would be up for porting more of their games to PC.
That's not a bad thing.
Which I hope carries over to them porting them to the PS4.
Porting shit to the PS4. I have to go off on a tangent here. Fucking Capcom. Dragon's Dogma. You fuckers. Seriously. Anyways.
Fuck Capcom.
Oh, what did Capcom do to you now?
Fucking lazy trophy lists.
As long as they're
Where
easy.
did Capcom touch you?
On his
Fucking
trophy
lazy
list.
Trophy list. No, okay. You know they released a Mega Man Legacy collection on the PS4, Xbox One, and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
That had no platinum, even though it was 6 games.
Oh, no, that's not okay.
And then, you know, they announced recently a, what was it? The NES game collection. Like, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, DuckTales, and all that. Well, guess what? They released a trophy list.
No platinum?
No platinum, 20 bronze trophies.
That is kind of shitty. Okay. I have heard out your gripes, and I deem them legitimate, so carry on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Capcoms are lazy with their trophy list. Like Resident Evil 4 didn't even have a platinum.
Would I buy Dragon's Dogma ported to the PS4 the same quality as on the PC for $30-$40 if it had its own trophy list. Instantly. Day one. No question about it.
I would too.
I paid $50 for that the Saints Row 4 Gat Out of Hell port to the PS4, and I kind of regret it, not because I didn't get my money's worth out of it, but because it dropped in price so fast. But it was still a great game. I enjoyed it much. So I have no problem with spending money on a good port. Oh, you're killing gaming. Fuck you. More games, the better. Alright. Another game that's coming out. There's a lot of fucking game launches that came out. I think we're going to see games continue to be announced for the next 2 months. The bigger ones that really want to leave an impact that can afford the E3 show will come out at E3, but everyone else that's not going to show off at E3, we'll probably see them scooping E3 by a couple of months or weeks, so don't be surprised if next few podcasts are, and then this came out, and then this came out, and then this came out. So, Warriors All-Stars is coming west for the PS4 PC on August 29th in North America, September 1st in Europe. Why does Europe always get games just a little bit after us? That never made sense. Is there a good reason for it, or
what?
Europe getting its games released shortly after North America?
Because they don't have, I think their release dates are always a few days after.
Yeah, well, I know that, but why are the release dates after? I just...
Don't ask me.
Huh, that's weird. Oh, well. So this is a, kind of like Warriors Orochi, in a sense. Except it's cross-promotional. Not cross, but it has characters from multiple different games in it.
Yeah.
So I looked at the... Go on.
It has Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. It has some characters from Dead or Alive.
Yeah, they're there for the fan service, if I'm not mistaken.
Much. Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. I think there's an Atelier character or two, which is in that RPG series with crafting.
Let me go look it up. I looked this up earlier, so yeah, I saw the link. Okay, they have characters from Atelier, am I saying that right? Dead or Alive, Deception. That's that like puzzle game with the redhead, right?
Yeah, that's a puzzle game where you punish people that come into your castle and shit.
Okay. Dynasty Warriors, Haruka Beyond the Stream of Time, Knights of Azure, Ninja Gaiden, Neo, Apuna, Rio, Samurai Cat, Samurai Warriors, and Toukiden The Age of Demons. I can't even remember a single character from the first Toukiden. That's how important they are.
Yeah, well, you know that Oka chick.
Is she the one with the longsword?
Yeah.
Okay, I know there was a chick with a longsword. So, yeah. I mean, if it's your thing, it might be a good beat 'em up. Oh, Lu Bu. Lu Bu is one of the characters that is making it over. I remember, Lu Bu from... Was it Dynasty Warriors 5? There's this one cutscene. I think it's... I can't even remember it. It's one of the... I can't even remember the names of the characters. I want to say it's the Battle of Guandu, where Cao Cao defeats the other guy who has a much bigger army, but he uses it stupidly.
No, Yan Shao?
Yeah, I think that's the one. And it's one of Lu Bu's missions for that guy in Dynasty Warriors 5, where he just, as soon as you start out the mission, a cutscene begins where Lu Bu is screaming because he's angry at some development. And I'm just like, God damn it, Lu Bu, never change. I love you in these games.
Yeah, you have Dynasty Warriors Postal Boy, Zhao Yun.
Yeah.
And then you have the Samurai Warriors Postal Boy, Yukimura Sanada.
I think one of Rebecca's favorite characters in Dynasty Warriors was what? Macau?
Macau.
Guy with you got him that horse that you couldn't be knocked off from, and just ride through enemies and just obliterate everything from horseback.
Macau was like just a fucking beast on the horse.
Yeah, he's OP.
I love me some Guan Yu. He's fan. He's one of my favorite characters. That game actually inspired me to read The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I found a free version of it online translated to English, and I just read through it, and I was like, man, I love me some histories. So, okay, well, for whatever reason, Greg isn't here today. I don't know, I haven't talked to him today. He just didn't show up. But he would be pleased to know that Neo is getting an update and DLC on May the 2nd. So, the Dragon of the North DLC will let players venture deep into Japan's embattled northern provinces. Includes the following content: new weapon types, new scenarios, new characters, new guardian spirits, new yokai, and new stages. And apparently they are coming out with a belated season pass for $25, which gives access to all 3 upcoming expansions: Dragon of the North, Defiant Honor, and Bloodshed's End, as well as a PlayStation 4 avatar. So, consider they seem to be doing DLC right with Neo, where they are releasing full scenarios and not nickeling and diming you with microtransactions. So that's a good thing. That season pass might actually be worth buying, considering you'd be getting all the DLC for like $8 each.
Tecmo has a history of doing some medium quality DLCs and stuff like that for their games. If you look at the DLC for Dynasty Warriors 8 or Warriors of Retry 3, there's a shitload of them.
True. I mean, but this one sounds like it's its own scenario. Like, it might not be up on par with like a proper Souls DLC, which, to my knowledge, they've done DLC pretty good.
Yeah.
But even if it's like mid-sub Souls quality, they're still $8 each with the season pass, so they don't have to be that great to be worth their money, I guess is what I'm saying. Just a few new levels, a few new monsters. What else do you want? More shit to kill. Alright, speaking on the last bit of news that I have to talk about, and probably the best bit of news, Dragon Quest XI, In Search of Departed Time? I didn't even know it had that subtitle, but hey, you learn more every time you read a sentence. Has a release date of July 29th for Japan. I saw that. I saw the trailer announcing it. The gameplay looks fantastic. It just looks great. Everything about this game looks fucking great, except for that little fucking kid character, who I guess is apparently your mage. But if I'm not forced to play with her all the time, I will be fine.
It offsets that little kid with that martial artist chick.
Yes. So, I mean, you have to have the hot chick in every game. You have the boring silent warrior protagonist. That's there. So.
Yeah, he's boring.
He is, but the hero in Dragon Quest VIII wasn't a terribly compelling character either. I'm the silent guy. I have a mouse and a bandana. At least he got Super Saiyan hair when he got up to full tension. I found that a nice little Toriyama rub. So,
what? Toriyama designed the characters? I never knew that.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's the same characters over and over again, but I like those characters, so... I mean, you don't hear me not complaining, but I'm not really upset by it either. I don't care. I can double standard the hell out of anything. I like Toriyama's character. I will. I like his character design, so you can give me as many Jessicas and Yanguses as you fucking want. And I will put up with your throwaway characters like the kid. I want to know more about that old dude, though. That's what's got me interested. I want to hear about that gnome. I saw one of his attacks in the trailer where he essentially enchanted his hands and then clawed an enemy, and I'm like, no, please don't make him like a living mole. I mean, I know he's small, but come on, do a little better with him than that. But I don't know enough to say anything definitive, so I will just I will just hope that he's not a living mole character. So, but yeah, martial arts chick looks cool. The main character's thief buddy has that whole blue-haired Super Saiyan thing going on, which I guess is in vogue in Dragon Ball Super now. So, whatever, he looks cool. So, I've got enough characters I can play to fill up a party.
It has horse racing.
Oh, yeah, God. That's the one part of that trailer I saw, besides that kid. I keep saying, everything looks great, except. But that horse racing, I don't know. Racing elements in games always just annoy the fuck out of me.
I could fucking hear you I could hear you clench up.
She could hear...
That came on.
She could hear my anus.
Your anus.
My anus just clenching, like, oh, there's gonna be a trophy, and I'm gonna hate it, and I'm gonna have to do it, and I'm gonna be like, you fucking fuckity fuck every fucking time, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of races.
Then you'll see me in Slack like, oh yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad. Just like that Ratchet and Clank shit, that was easy. Fuck you all. But I'll still love it, and I'll still play the game. It gets all my loves. It is looking like the best thing that Square Enix has done in a long time. Which, to be a shithead, I must admit, isn't a high bar these days. But, yeah. I just wish that it was coming out on July 29th in North America. And I know how much that would cause you to cry up in tear, but...
Oh, that would cause me fucking just...
that would make your anus clench up.
Yeah, that would cause some tables to be flipped.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I can just see it. Like, Jared, his whole summer is like this shining beacon of emptiness with one fucking ray of light in it called Final Fantasy XII. And that is what you're gunning for. Like, that's it. That is your game.
Yeah, my next, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably the next 5 months are going to be 2 games.
Yeah. Good God. Thanks shit that things have settled down. I know I'm like the worst gamer ever if I say this, but there were too many games in the first 4 months of 2017.
Well, I'm not, I mean, that's not a bad thing, but yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Well, as a gamer, it's a good thing. As a guide author, not a good thing. Not a good thing. There was just way too much shit than we could hope to write about. And, come on, guys, space it out. Just a little tiny bit. Just a bit, please.
Yeah, look, there's a couple months in the middle of the year that doesn't usually have anything.
May, June, you know? I know May is getting Prey, but that's one game. You know, you could have taken one of those games from some other point in time and given it to May. Why the fuck do people hate May? Except for CD Projekt. They did good by May. They gave us The Witcher 3 in May. Thank you, CD Projekt.
They don't usually... None of the developers or publishers like fucking May, June, July.
I guess we can't say August this year, because...
I mean, usually you start seeing a release or two in August, and then September rolls around, it's like...
Yeah. I don't know. So, we're gonna have... When do you think Dragon Quest XI will be out, actually? I just have to ask.
I'm thinking... Going by past Dragon Quest games... Considering they want to push the series more in the West, I'm thinking Q1 2018.
You're making me sad. I really don't want to wait that long for that game. Just as long as nothing comes out during that time. Nothing else major, nothing else important.
Well,
I will end my life.
You don't want it coming out in the fall because that's Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. That would be That would be incomparably lame. My big fear, and I know this is a pretty long shot, but my big fear is that on E3, Bethesda will come out and they will announce The Elder Scrolls 6. And they will do that 6-month build that they did with Fallout. And it'll be slated for November. And then Square Enix will announce that Dragon Quest XI is coming out in November. And I will just... I mean, that won't be too bad for you, because then you'll get Dragon Quest XI and you won't even have to deal with me at all. Because both those guys have to be done, and I'm more of an Elder Scrolls guy.
You'd be caught up in a fetal position.
I would be sad. I'd be sad. I'd be a sad Haeravon, a sad gamer, a sad author, sad everything. It would be further proof, that there is a God and he hates me. So. You back, Rebecca? Oh, she can't hear. She doesn't have the headphones on. You back, woman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, we just got done pining for Dragon Quest XI. Which, again, to recap, looks amazing.
And there's just something about the Dragon Quest series that just goes, ah.
There is. It just gets me. Like, I will sit here and I will rag on all things Japanese and their fucking anime melodrama and recycled characters and plots, and then I'll hear some fucking bouncy little slime anthem Dragon Quest shit, and I'll be like, I don't care. I don't care. It is okay. They can commit every fault that I would murder a Final Fantasy game for. It's just, I love the art, I love the music, I love everything about Dragon Quest. Except the old Dragon Quest. So I really mean I love everything about Dragon Quest 8. And the more a Dragon Quest game is like Dragon Quest 8, the more I'm going to like it. Right, and that is the last bit of news I have to cover. Is there anything else to bring up this week?
I have one thing. Well, two things. First is Remedy Entertainment, which is a developer that was known for Alan Wake and Quantum Break, has revealed that they're developing their Northlight engine for the PS4, which means their next game, which is codenamed P7, is going to be multi-platform.
Okay. That's
so
cool.
That's a that's a for Xbox One exclusive company. Xbox exclusive company now going multi-platform.
Could they lose another one? Really? I mean, really? Fucking Microsoft. They cannot hold on to their authors for shit. Or developers for shit. Authors. I was still stuck in us mode. So. Rebecca, how much would that anger you if The Elder Scrolls 6 and Dragon Quest XI came out around the same time?
Why do I care about Dragon Quest XI?
See? Dead inside. She's soulless, she's heartless, she's evil.
I care a lot more about Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. What about...
So I'd play Elder Scrolls and you play Dragon Quest.
You play the fuck out of it.
What about Elder Scrolls 6 and Red Dead Redemption 2?
No. Elder Scrolls 6 and Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
That would suck. That would suck real hard.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That's like my nightmare scenario.
I like Red Dead Redemption, but...
I think we know Cyberpunk's probably in another year or two out.
Oh, yeah, at least. They're still hiring people. Q4 2018. I'd be astonished. So, alright. What's the other thing you got?
So yeah, one of the games. Sadly, I haven't gotten to play Cosmic Star Hearing yet.
Right, yeah, I was gonna yell at you and Greg to play that game a bit for the podcast, but I guess it couldn't be helped.
But the other game I played was Ukulele.
Is it as bad as everyone says?
Fucking people are idiots. Basically, if you liked Banjo-Kazooie, you'll like this game.
Yeah, it kind of had a Mass Effect Andromeda vibe to me, because I did watch some gameplay of it, and I was like, okay, it looks like a competent platformer to me. I'm not sure what everyone was expecting.
And considering, I mean, have you played Banjo-Kazooie?
No.
I mean, you know how the voices are done in that game, right?
Not really.
Oh,
okay.
It's just like that. So all that hubbub over fucking JonTron being in Ukulele is moot because you wouldn't even know it was him.
So he doesn't even have a recognizable voice.
No. And the worst part is, the character he did in the game was a porta potty.
Well, that seems appropriate.
How can you really be pissed? I know. The internet. That's how. That's always how. Oh man, I do not have the patience to deal with this. So, they got rid of JonTron's nondescript because how dare you know that fucking incomprehensible porta potty said some dumb shit about black people on the internet. This is the world we live in. Oh, I hate these fucking Revenant puzzles so much.
I'll have to find you the footage of that.
Of what?
The JonTron.
Oh, is it his cut scene from the game?
Yeah, it's his character that he had in the game.
Oh, so they have footage. Okay. Good lord, people. I mean, I'm not criticizing them for cutting him. I'm really not, because it's their game, and I can understand the PR, right? But at the same time, yeah, he did say some pretty dumb shit. I wonder what happened to disclaimers. Like, one, are we at a place in the world where you just can't assume that somebody that believes X in product Y doesn't necessarily mean that product Y endorses X? Is that just too far of a leap in today's world? I mean, I know. That's a rhetorical question. It obviously is. Okay, there it is. Do I actually have to listen to it? Or, I mean, do I lose any effect if I don't turn on the volume?
Well, yeah, you probably shouldn't turn on the volume.
Okay, hold on a second then.
Okay, maybe he doesn't play a porta potty. He played someone trapped in a...
Okay, so that's his role that was cut.
Apparently, yeah.
Because that's basically just a door going... Nah, 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 nah.
Pretty much.
Okay. Oh. Damn it, I exited out of that and I had it. Good thing I'm recording. I would be so sad if I fucked that up. I hate these, and I think I might have had that thing solved. So, I might be wrong. I don't know. Like, he did say some dumb stuff. Like, I don't even want to be overly charitable to him, because there are a lot of people that are trying to downplay, well, he didn't really say... No. But if you have any basic inference on what the fucker said, yeah, the guy's racist. Alright? There's...
I mean, if you had a job, like in an office or something, and you said something like that, you'd probably be fired.
Yeah, most likely.
You'd at very least get a very stern talking to.
Maybe not in the South where we are, but...
Even in the South, I mean, people mischaracterize the South a lot, but if you go, well, all black people commit more crime even when they're rich. Really? Based on what? Just because.
The people I work with who are black say the same thing.
Well, they're racist.
Yeah, well...
And I'm not one of those people that...
against themselves, apparently.
Well, I don't believe that only white people can be racist. Certainly they can be racist against themselves, so... Wow, I did solve that puzzle in one try. Fantastic. Awesome me. And screenshot, so I never have to do it again. Yes! But, I just, again, to reiterate, couldn't Yooka-Laylee have just go, we do not endorse JonTron's opinions on blah? Is that not enough distance? I mean, I know probably there'd be a furor over it, and people would want his head, but... If you really think about it, all the people that work on a project that are out and out racist, like... We never got a distancing from BioWare on Manveer here about the shit he said. And what he said was a lot fucking worse than what JonTron said. So it's selective outrage. And I am willing to give BioWare the benefit of the doubt and say there were hundreds of people that worked on it. It's not them. Well, he didn't quit. He got done with the project. I mean, he was a gameplay designer, so he probably wasn't long-term in-house staff. Like a lot of games.
At least the part he did in the game was actually good out the box.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't talk shit about the dude as a person. He's a shithead, racist asshole. But based on the fruits of the fucking results, he's a good gameplay developer. So. Do you want your... This is the thing. This is the thing, guys. Do you want your games to play good, even if that means you have to allow someone you don't like, that has opinions you disagree with, to work on the game? Because if you want Manveer Hair's head, because he's an asshole, racist fuckhead, then you're kind of an SJW too, aren't you?
There's a difference between someone like Manveer, who's actually working on the game.
Yeah.
Over JonTron, who's just providing his voice. Unrecognizable voice.
And to be fair, JonTron is adding his, gibberish voice to the game based on his celebrity alone. Dubious as it may be, right?
Quote, unquote celebrity.
Well, I mean, he's got a following, he's got reach, so if the whole definition of the word celebrity means popular or well-known, then he's a celebrity. So, I mean, I think we just need a...
Internet celebrity.
Does it really matter? I mean, internet's bigger than non-internet, so... We just need to decouple the word celebrity from being meritorious. So, meritorious? Meritorious? Whatever. Being comprised of merit. There. I mean,
back.
Yeah, go. When your sole purpose or your sole claim to fame is, I'm popular, and then you say shit that makes the person you're partnered with look bad by association, that's grounds for cutting you out, because you brought one thing to the table, and that is, I guess, your fans, your eyeballs, your fame. And if it becomes a liability, then what the fuck good are you?
Yeah, seriously.
So... Manveer Air, he's an asshole, he's a racist, you shouldn't like him, but he was good at his fucking job. Now, I think a company like BioWare that wants to play the PC card and, equality and, you look bad when you don't condemn that. When you give it a paycheck and you... Again, this is This is their rules, not mine. I say the guy's an asshole as long as he keeps it out of his fucking work. I don't care. I'm not paying him for his political opinions. I'm paying him for his work. And if he's not disrupting the workplace, if he's not causing us any fucking problems, you can argue PR, but that's not his job. He's not a public face of BioWare. But for me, Manveer, he's an asshole, but if he does his job, he gets his paycheck. But if I go into a game saying, oh yeah, it's all about diversity and inclusivity, and this is something we really care about when we write it into our games, and then you have that fucking asshole at your company saying that shit, yeah, then two things has to go. Your public image as a champion of diversity and equality and fairness and your opposition to bigotry, or your dedication to just hiring the best person for the job. So BioWare made their choice, so I don't want to fucking hear them preaching about fucking diversity. They lost that right. They don't get that anymore. So that's a conscious choice you make. Anywho, Jared. I mean, right or wrong? No one else has an opinion on that?
They're allowed to say what they want, but they have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, I mean, if you look two-faced, well, that's on you. I hate Nazis, but I'm going to hire David Duke to be a consultant. Well, then you don't get to fucking tout that Nazi thing so high, do you? I think that's what I'm going for, is the hypocrisy of their position. So, and yeah, people did bring that up to, I forgot his name, the head of BioWare, and his response to that was, well, he doesn't work here anymore. Okay, so he was a contractor who completed his contract, but you're not actually commenting on the thing people care about. So, well, whatever. He did a good job, though. I will give him that. I cannot take that from him, or else I look like a fucking disingenuous ass. I'm playing his excellent gameplay right now, and having pretty good fun doing it. Alright, so what was it you were going to say before I...
Oh yeah, basically, I mean, if you played Banjo-Kazooie, you know the type of game that ukulele is, because it's pretty much almost like a third iteration of Banjo-Kazooie. You have two characters who each have their own abilities that play off each other. Like, Yuka is the chameleon, and Laylee is the snarky asshole bat.
Is there any other kind of bat?
I mean, it's pretty much Banjo-Kazooie reskin in a way.
And is that not more or less what you wanted?
Pretty much. I mean, that's what they were selling it from the very beginning. Because they could never get Microsoft to allow them to make an actual third game in the series. Because Nuts and Bolts, which is a Banjo-Kazooie game they made, was not a Banjo-Kazooie game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that happens with a lot of franchises, is they have like one or two good games, and then their publisher wants them to make a third version of the game that's nothing like the first two, but it'll sell more, so make it like an action shooter RPG. It's like, no, it's a fucking cartoon platformer, you know? Just... Yeah. And then they make it, and it's, you know, not what any of the fans wanted, and it certainly never had the potential to sell the fucking 5-6 million they wanted anyways. So... then it goes downhill, and then they never make a third one, because if the shitty spin-off formula no one wanted didn't sell, well, then going back to the thing people liked won't sell.
Yeah, basically, okay, the main bad guy is named Capital B. I think you can figure out what kind of animal he is.
A squirrel.
He's a bullweasel. He's sucks up all the books in the world because he's trying to get to this one magical book, which he happens to get before he gets it. All the pages fly out of it. So that's your basic gist of the game. You're going around collecting these pages, as they're called. That's your main collectible. And the worlds are pretty fucking big. If they weren't big to begin with, you can offer up some of these pages to expand them, to make them even fucking bigger.
Oh, wow. That's necessary. So, I'm sure you've read some of the reviews. What are the main criticisms of the game?
One of the biggest criticisms is the camera. But it's a 3D platformer. Present one 3D platformer that had a good camera. That didn't fuck up at times.
Is it bad, or is it just not better than what we're used to?
I had to turn down the sensitivity a little bit in the options from the default. But, I mean, I got used to it in maybe 3-4 hours I played of the game.
Because, see, I hate really bad cameras in games, but I also expect games to have bad cameras. And at this point, it's just...
I think most 3D games in general have bad cameras.
I mean, there are levels, like, there's Final Fantasy 15 where it's just like, what the fuck, guys? Oh, shit, I just got eaten. That thing totally sniped me.
I think most 3D games where you can control the camera and you can rotate it at will, they tend to have instances where the camera fucks up.
Yeah, well, yeah. The idea is you kind of you have to mitigate it, and the best way to mitigate it is to give the player as much control as possible, and then give them a few other tools like, I don't know, if there's a shit ton of fucking foreground foliage in your game, how about you dither that shit so you can see your character through it? Final Fantasy. Just, just a thought. So you're never going to fix the problems, but, there's, like, Devil May Cry 1 on the PS2, and then there's The Witcher 3, right? And, yeah, they both have camera issues at times, but The Witcher 3 is much better, because it's not going to switch the camera angle on you mid-jump. So, you definitely can't have better and worse cameras, but you'll never have a perfect camera.
I think another criticism of the game is that the worlds aren't... I mean, I've only played the first world a lot and a little bit of a second world. That the worlds feel like empty. But I mean, I haven't really... I mean, I can't really comment on that because I haven't really played much. The first world didn't seem that bad.
Okay, so, well, you'll update us on your opinions if you play, like, another 20 hours and then there's just, like, stagnation.
I plan on getting 100% in this game.
Okay. Ah, yeah. There's this fucking big-ass armored monster that lives in a cave that they totally have hidden. It ate me.
So kind of like when you were fucking around with the water on Resident Evil 4 and suddenly got eaten by
no, that was far better, but this is a big blue monster that I should have seen coming, that I totally didn't see coming. So I was just sitting there minding my own business, shooting at things, and then all of a sudden this thing picks me up, puts me in its mouth, bites me, throws me to the ground, slams me, and I'm dead.
Oh, like running around in Horizon and then just a random fucking rock breaker pops out of the ground.
Yeah. It was actually pretty cool. They hid that thing well. They clearly designed, because there's like a big rock in front of its cave, and its cave is really, really dark. So, and it's just big enough to fit it. So yeah, they're assholes. They designed that entirely just to do a guy. It worked. It worked. That thing totally got me. I can't argue. That was good design there.
yeah, I think there's one game coming out next week that I want to get to, but I don't know if I'll have enough money.
What game's that?
It's called Shiness Lightning Kingdom or something like that. It's that RPG with the animals.
Oh, okay.
Which has a actual fighting engine, a fighting game engine for the battle system.
I'm not sure if I like that or I don't.
I mean, at least it's different.
True. I remember way back in the day when the gold standard for RPG combat. If you remember when this came out, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Have you ever played that, Jared?
I've played a little bit.
And everyone talked about, oh, this is it's an RPG that finally has good combat. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is neat. I mean, I guess it kind of plays like a competent, almost hack and slash. Like, not Devil May Cry levels, but you can dodge. You have combos, right? So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't groundbreaking. They're like, oh, but now it's in an RPG, so yay. And then a few months later, Dragon's Dogma comes out, and I'm just like, Kingdoms of Amalur who? Now looking back on it, I hate to be that conspiracy theorist, but it smells a lot like paid reviews because they all hyped its gameplay, and its gameplay was good, but it wasn't really that revolutionary. They were just trying to sell it as like revolutionary for an RPG gameplay when it really wasn't.
Well, when you have stunning combat like Elder Scrolls.
True, but I mean that's not really the extent of RPG gameplay. That's something worth talking about. You've never played an Elder Scrolls game, right, Jared?
No.
Did you ever go and buy Skyrim? Because I thought you said you were going to buy it.
Yeah, I have Skyrim. I bought the PS4 version.
I can't really... Like, help me out with this, Rebecca. What is it that makes us able to spend hundreds of hours, like, in Skyrim? Because if you really think about every aspect of the game, there's nothing that really comes out as overly compelling. Like everything Skyrim does, there are games that do it better.
I would think a lot of it's the big world and the exploration.
Yeah, that is a lot of it, but I can't even say they have the biggest world or the best world design. They definitely populate it with a lot of interesting stuff to see and do, but the leveling system is fairly streamlined and it's nothing special in an RPG anymore. What
about the memes?
The memes, well, I don't know. Sometimes they're missed, sometimes they're an arrow to the knee, but I don't know. It's like, the combat's not great, the crafting's not great, the world isn't great, the story's horrible. Most of those things are good. It's a very casual, friendly, I'm going to welcome you in and not pressure you and just let you spend a few 100 hours fucking around kind of game.
Well, okay, I did play maybe an hour at most of... Was it Morrowind?
Way back in the day?
It was Morrowind. Yeah, on Xbox. And I was like, this game is shit.
No, dude. Morrowind... Maybe back when it came out it was fantastic, but I played Oblivion first. And I loved Oblivion, so I was like, okay, I have clearly done this series a disservice.
Well, so, Morrowind came out before Oblivion, right?
Yeah. And so I went back to go play Morrowind, and I'm like, everything about this sucks. The combat is horrible, your characters look fucking atrocious. Yeah, you had more options when it came to skills, but it was the basic same leveling system as Oblivion, except with more skills. You had heavy, light, medium armor, and more weapons, and you remember that convoluted leveling system from Oblivion, right, Rebecca? Where you have 3 major skills, and once you get 10 points in any combination of them, you leveled up, and then you could distribute 3 attribute points. But there's more, because depending on what skills you leveled up, over the course of the last level, you would either get 1 to 5 points in each attribute, depending on what skills you leveled up and what attribute they synergized with. And it's not that complicated, but it really makes, like, if you're a min-maxer like me and you just can't help yourself, then you end up sitting around going, okay, I need to level up block, like, 10 more times before I level up sneak, because if I level up sneak, I'm going to level up overall, and I want to increase my endurance this level, but I need to get 10 points in a endurance synergized fucking skill, so I can get the full 5 points when I level up my endurance, and Jesus fucking Christ, just kill me. That's why Skyrim was just like, oh, I can just level up my skills, and that makes me level up. And I get bigger, and better, and stronger, and better, and it's great. And
but
it just lets you play.
You actually use, you level up.
Yeah. You didn't have to sit there and plan how you were going to fight the next 50 enemies so you could level up correctly. You just got to go and play and kill things the way that it was most fun or convenient for you at the time, and it didn't really impede you. And people will bemoan...
Shield bashing dragons in the face.
Yes,
is my
that was
favorite
always fun.
thing about Skyrim. You can shield bash dragons in the face.
Yeah. It took a while for us to learn that that was a good tactic, because normally we would just soak up their breath weapon damage, and then, I don't know, on a whim, I thought it would be cheeky when the dragon inhaled to go and use its breath to just smack it in the face. And then I realized that this staggers them and stops them from breathing at you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that more. You remember the first time you got eaten by a dragon in that game? Or it just bites you and whips you around and fucking tosses you? That was great. So, first time that happened to me, I was like, oh, that sucks. That's going to do damage.
Yeah, the only Bethesda.
Did you actually beat Fallout 3?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Trophies, yeah, 100% trophies.
I mean, that's a good one. I think that's a fair representation of... Well, I guess not so much anymore. Fallout 3...
constant crashing and glitches.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have played it on the PS3.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a choice.
I know. That's not really a defense of Bethesda. That's just an unfortunate fact that the games ran like shit on the PS3. 10 years ago, I would say that was the model of a Bethesda game. Now it's shifted towards Skyrim, where it's become a lot more casual, a lot more entry-friendly, I guess. So, and they sell a lot more, so they're doing something right. Surprise, when you appeal to more people, you sell more shit. I know. No. I guess I can't get this bridge open yet, can I? Oh. No, I guess not. I think Claire made the right choice to go to the planet she went to, because there's a lot of dead ends on this planet, so... Anyways, what else is there? Is that all we got, Jared? Right.
I think, yeah. I mean, I haven't really played much of anything else besides Ukulele, Horizon, and the other shit I usually play.
Did you play any Persona 5?
Not since last podcast. I'm waiting for the Elgato to come.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I was just wondering if you couldn't contain yourself and had some guilty pleasure playing, which I would not have faulted you for, by the way.
I was surprised I have 45 hours in the Miku.
What's that?
That's that diva weird job.
Oh, right, Himiku, right.
Molestation game.
I don't know. I don't know why it just sounded weird when you said it.
Yeah, I can't believe I had that many hours already into it.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
I feel about it.
Go call him a baby raper. I know you want to.
I said child molestation. I think it's pretty well covered.
I think I have 30 more songs out of 224 to finish on hard.
So you're going to platinum that game?
There is no platinum.
Oh. Well, geez, why even play it?
Because I actually like playing games sometimes more than trophies.
He's not Greg.
I should try and play some more Destroy All Humans. Because that's supposed to be an easy platinum, and I did like that game back in the day, so...
Yeah, I can't remember if I beat that or not back in the day.
I know I didn't. I can't give you a good reason why, I just kind of reached a point in the game and was like, okay, well, that was fun. The standards of open world games have, well, not sandbox games, have really changed drastically in the past, 12, 13 years?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I mean, I love sandbox and open world games and stuff like that, but I think some developers need to learn that not every game needs to be open world or sandbox.
No, they don't. Sandbox games are more of a tool for a game instead of the point of a game. Like, it's just a sales pitch now. While we have to make it open world because we can say it's open world, it'll sell more. And there's a point to making it open world, and the point is to give you freedom and to put interesting things that you can do by exploring. And if you don't have those things, you made an open world game that has no point in being open world.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ukulele has open worldish, because you don't have to go, it's not like, I guess you could say it's kind of like Mario 64 in that the worlds aren't, I mean, you get enough pages to unlock another world, or, you know, you can either, you could go to that world, that second world, or you could unlock more of the first world.
Yeah, that is very Mario 64-ish.
I mean, minus the expansion of the stages thing, because each stage has its own set thing.
Well, you'll have to keep us up to date the more you play that game. Cause
yeah, I'll probably be playing that more than... I want to start Cosmic Star Heroine, but I don't want to get too deep into it.
Yeah. Well, you're just about done with Horizon, and I think, I don't know, I have to imagine you will be glad to put that game behind you when you're done with it. I mean, it's a good game, but yeah. You've sunk a lot more time into it than I did. And at the end there, I was kind of getting...
burnt.
Yeah. What are you fighting, Rebecca?
I'm not fighting anything.
Oh.
Putting stuff away.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I was wondering if you had a good story for us.
No. I've just been fucking around with building things. Redecorating my house. You know, the important stuff on Fallout 4.
Exactly. Well, you have to update us on Persona 5 once you finally are able to start playing that.
Yeah, it looks like Greg's gotten pretty far in it so far.
Yeah, he said something about being done with it for April, which I found kind of weird because he said that like at the end of the first week of April.
Yeah.
He rode up to the first palace, I think is what he said in his guide. So.
He's in the June in game, I think.
Don't you start in April?
You start in April.
Yeah, it's quite a binge there. But
yeah,
I want to know if that game's a 94 overall, to your opinion.
I mean, the Persona games, like the first month is like very heavy dialogue-wise and shit like that.
If you can make it through that, you'll probably make it through the game.
Yeah, once you get past that, you start getting into more gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's risky when games have too much build at the beginning. Because that can be hard to sit through. Even if you like story, which I do. I just, sometimes I just want to go kill shit, you know? I don't know. Alright. And right.
Oh yeah, that game comes out too, fuck.
What's that?
The developer of Mercenary Kings, the next game comes out next week.
What's the name of that game? Tell me about it so I can go look it up.
Flint Hook.
I wonder if it's 4-player.
No, it's like it's more of a platform type game.
Ah, never mind then. They're dead to me. Alright. And yeah, that's one thing I'm really interested in, is you beating Yooka-Laylee and giving us your score, because I want to compare and contrast that with the Metacritic.
Well, my score would probably be biased, unless it pisses me off in some way.
Well, I mean, you're a platforming fan, right? So
I'm a platforming junkie.
no, junkie, even worse than a fan. It's just there's been a few games that have come out recently whose scores I've disagreed with. I'm almost certain if I got my hands on some of these games, I would have given them fairly different scores. I guess I differed quite a bit from Metacritic when it came to Final Fantasy 15 as well. I think that game is actually a little overrated on Metacritic. Mass Effect Andromeda...
Yeah, probably.
The prevailing fucking... Like, if you go anywhere online with Mass Effect Andromeda, the prevailing attitude is, yeah, well, we've pretty much established this game is shit, right? And I'm like, no, I don't fucking sign on to that. I think the game's pretty good so far. I want to know from everybody who's given the game a bad score, how much of it they've actually played. I got into an argument about this on GameFAQs the other day where somebody was like, I don't need to play it to know it's shit. It's like, you need to play it to have a fucking opinion anyone cares about.
I mean, there's some games that you don't need to play to know it's shit, but those are games like Superman 64 and Big Rigs Racing.
Or No Man's Sky, right? You don't need to play it to really know that it's not living up to its hype.
Some people like No Man's Sky.
I'm pretty sure I would have found it okay. I probably wouldn't have given it like a 4 or anything, but it went from a $60 purchase. So
pre-order canceled.
Pre-order was... I did cancel that pre-order, so...
I know.
You know, it might be worth the $20 now, or 15 or 10 or whatever the hell it can scrounge up. I never thought it was a $60 game. I was willing to overpay for it because, it looked neat, but...
Then they fucked it.
Well, yeah, then you started seeing that it wasn't offering what they said it was. I was willing to pay about $50, which was the Amazon after rate, for what they showed at E3. When it turned out that wasn't anywhere near what we were getting, then yeah.
I was like you, my interest was peaked at first, and then I was like, oh, okay. I started seeing some of the game, I'm like, okay, maybe 40.
Maybe
like,
40.
30. Then I was like, nah, I'll wait for 20. And then I saw the ending, I'm like, nope.
Guess what the big story of the game is? You get to play the game again! Yay!
Yay, with all your upgrades. So you practically are doing nothing.
I hate that. You don't get to the end of a game and say, hey, guess what? You get to hit reset and start all over again. Isn't this a great ending? No, you fucker. Okay.
I mean, now they added a survival mode,
base building.
There's a hardcore mode where, you die once, you start over from the beginning.
But is there a trophy for it?
Yes.
Oh. Never mind then. I mean, obviously it's not required for the platinum. I don't think it can be, but...
No, because it's DLC.
You don't have to pay for any of that DLC, right?
I don't think so.
Wow, I never... Is there any other game where Sony allowed them to add more DLC that had trophies without charging for it?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I have to see if the DLC is free or not.
I mean, for that game, it better be free.
Yeah.
They already charged more than that game was worth.
Yeah, there's no DLC page on the store.
Wow, so this got free trophy patched in. Is that I don't know if that's unprecedented, but I've not heard of that happening before. Like what Microsoft used to do is they would add in achievements that didn't give you any achievement points. I know, what's the fucking point? But I believe they did that for a few games. So that wasn't unprecedented for them, but I imagine these trophies count. So.
Well, from the sounds of it, they're going to probably add more trophies because the first trophy pack is called Trophy Pack 1.
Well, yeah, if it was called the Trophy Pack, probably wouldn't be getting more, but yeah, once you start putting numbers behind it.
Yeah, there's 5 trophies in the DLC. They have... And one is for reaching the center of the galaxy in survival. And a second one is reach the center of the galaxy in permadeath mode.
Oh. Well, good luck. Wait, is there an Easter sale? People are talking about an Easter sale. I don't see an Easter sale.
Europe.
For Europe. Who cares about Europe? That's not even a place. Why don't we get an Easter sale? We celebrate the day that the Easter Bunny brought us candied chocolates. Fucking Europe. They always get all the breaks. They get their games late, and they get to pay extra money for it. Assholes. Alright, but yeah. I am thoroughly out of shit to talk about now.
Yeah, pretty much same here.
Okay. So we will call that an end for the podcast this week. Next podcast is next Tuesday, the episode 49. No fucking clue. Yeah, maybe Greg will show up. I don't know if he's still playing Overwatch or not, but...
Probably.
He gave us the cold shoulder. I don't know.
Sick.
I don't know. He was awake until like 4 or 5 o'clock, though, so...
No.
He might not have slept. He might have zonked out, honestly. He might be in a menu or something, for all I know.
But, he's like me. He's just useless on the podcast right now.
Yes, he is. And you are. You're a bad person. But hey,
I'm busy.
You're our token female. You give us the ability to complain about things. And every time there's something sexist in a video game, I can go, right, Rebecca? And then you say something even more outrageous and sexist than I could possibly say, so.
Or she just replies with, you fucking cunt or something like that.
Yeah, she's busy. Didn't I just do that?
Catchphrase.
That is. Alright, but we will see you all next Tuesday, 11 o'clock Central Time. Same time as always. And hopefully I have more shit to talk about. I think we're going to see games continue to be announced. Or at least the release dates given to us, so.
Yeah.
Until then, see you all later.
Given.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.